Hey guys, it's Greenie Girl. How's everyone doing today? Guys, I'm not just flailing my hand about, it's supposed to be a Q and a K. Anyways, I hope everyone's well. I know it's been a while. So today's video was, I suppose, inspired by the recent events in my life. And that was losing someone very important to me, which was my grandfather. So this video is more about, to some extent, dealing with bereavement and loss, and to some extent what you should and shouldn't do. People don't always understand our traditions as such. When your family come over, and family, friends, or whatever, they come over to do afsoos. Afsoos is like condolences, and I mean, to some extent, if we actually translate afsoos, it means regrets. So they come to do regrets. Sounds a bit weird. But hey, and this actually can be quite therapeutic for the family. They get to remember their loved ones, and also not very therapeutic because they have to keep reliving those memories over and over again of how their last dying days were, which isn't always very nice. I got pros and cons over it. So it can be helpful and sometimes it can't be. I think generally it tends to have a more therapeutic aspect to it, because I think it's important that you do remember the people you have lost. But I suppose what I would say is, so I had some people who tried to, I suppose, offer me advice during this time. Tell me what I should and shouldn't be doing during this time when I was mourning the loss of my granddad. And I just sat there thinking, just shut up. Shut up. And I'm sorry if people feel that is rude. I didn't actually blatantly say this to some people, but I pretty much just ignored them instead. But I just thought, I need people to recognize, not for myself, but also working as a bereavement counsellor, people need that space to just talk about the people they have lost, and just that space to just be themselves and just take that time for themselves. Nobody's asking your opinions or advice. I mean, yeah, some people might ask advice, but if no one's asking your advice, please don't feel the need to give it. I think what it's important to show your friends and family who have lost somebody that you're there if they want to talk. And if you have a personal connection to the person they've lost, help. Also share that with the other person. You don't need to suddenly be like, oh god, they've died, I just need to pretend like everything's gonna be fine, and whatever else. It doesn't work like that. Or where you just try and ignore a person instead and just brush over the matter. You can't brush over these things. Life and death, unfortunately, is just part of life. Death is part of life. And the only way we'll progress in life is if we acknowledge what's happened. And we have that space given to us by people who love us, and people who are friends and families, and colleagues, anybody, just to remember that person, to just talk about the death if they want to talk about it. Don't just offer pointless advice, firstly, if no one's asked for it. Secondly, stop trying to stop people from crying. Because a few times I saw, part of my relatives, one relative just kept trying to force people to cry, and I was just sitting there like, stop forcing people to cry. the end of the day, grief, we go through our own journeys and our own experience. I might not want to cry in front of everybody else. I might want to cry in the comfort of my own bedroom. I might be cried out. That is my own journey, my own experience. Stop forcing people to feel emotions when you want them to feel it. They will feel and go through everything in their own time. This is another key part. Give people time. And in this time, let them know you're there for them. Don't just disappear as well. Just be like, hey, I'm here if you need me, if you need anything, if you want to talk. Or even if you don't want to talk and just want to go for a walk, offer them that space. Don't just ignore the person who's experienced this bereavement, because that doesn't work. But what you all need to remember is our journeys are all different. I might grieve in a completely different way to you or your next door neighbour, or I don't know, Ahmed down the road. We all grieve in different ways. Me, Tracy, John, and I don't know, Sandeep, we don't all grieve in the same way necessarily. If we did, well, there's nothing wrong with that as well. It might just be a coincidence, but we won't necessarily do that. And that's what we all need to take on board. This is our life journey. These are our emotions. These are our thoughts. This is our life. We can't be controlled by other people. We can't cry when somebody wants us to cry. Sorry. We can't just experience emotions and anything else when other people tell us to. It happens in itself. What I would suggest though is if you require support, definitely get it. So again, from my perspective, being a bereavement counsellor, one of my many glamorous jobs, is I wouldn't personally say automatically go and seek counselling as soon as a death has happened. I think sometimes you need a bit of time. Give it a few weeks maybe. It's up to you. Again, this is based on your own self. You know yourselves better than I know you. So if you feel as soon as something's happened, as soon as that death has happened, that you need that help, automatically contact the agencies, the organisations, the counselling organisations. I'm sorry, I think I was going to go into a coughing fit. Contact them. So you've got places like Cruise. You can go through your NHS GPs. They generally refer most people to Cruise in the UK. If other people want to know about other bereavement services, then you can. I think there might be someone called Sue. There's an organisation called Sue Rider as well. So typically you can get support through IAP services or talking therapies, where you can access counselling. So it's really important that you do get that support when you do need it as well. Never be afraid to ask for it. If you feel one person doesn't understand you, go to the next person. Or if not, contact me. I'm sorry. Drop me a comment and I will, contact you back. I will comment below and give you the details you need. I'm not perfect. I can only suggest what's happened in my perspective and let you guys know based on that. If other people have other advice or tools, coping strategies, please feel free to let us know. I'm sure the other community members would appreciate it and the other viewers. Take care, guys. Sorry. I'm just gonna have a coughing fit in a bit. Take care. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.